are back again with another episode of Let's Learn It and Draw It. In today's class, I'm going to be discussing the details of the human brain. Everything that you need to know about the human brain will be done in detail in today's class. But before I move ahead, I have a small game for you. So let's get started. In this particular game, you have to tell me the color and not the word, and the game is on. Tell me the color. Get ready on your screens. Yes, what are you saying? Come on guys, stay focused on the game which is there on your screens right now. I'm sure you're getting confused multiple number of times. Yes, I can see that happening. Tell me in the comment section. So was this confusing? Yes, because your brain was put into a test, my dear kids, and it's not an easy test. The human brain consists of two beautiful halves, the right and the left half. And in this particular game, both these halves were fighting with each other, and that is the reason you were absolutely confused. The color was orange, purple was the word, and there was a beautiful left-right conflict of the human brain. Yes, so that led to all the confusion which happens. The right side of the brain told you about something else, the left side of the brain told you, the word, the right about the color, and you got absolutely dismally confused. What you need to know is these two halves of the brain are joined to each other with a bunch of nerves called the corpus callosum. And does our brain often, signal, pass information from the right to left half? Yes. If I look at the brain from top, you will always see that the brain does resemble an organ. Yes, what is it? The brain resembles a nut which is called the walnut. Yes, the wrinkles on the surface of the nut are exactly like walnut. If I get into the depth of the wrinkles of the human brain, you will understand that these wrinkles form major part of the human brain which is called the cerebrum. More the number of wrinkles tells us how intelligent a person can be. Isn't that like, wow, baffling? If you look closely into the structure of the brain, you will realize that these wrinkles increase the surface area of the brain, and more the number of surface area, more will be the neurons, and therefore more will be the intelligence of that particular person. So the cerebrum, this entire portion, is related to the intelligence in the human being. A part of it is genetic, some part of it could be acquired just after birth. If you look at the cerebrum, it is divided into four parts. The four lobes of the cerebrum, and each one of them has a beautiful different function. The first and the foremost is right here. It's referred to as the frontal lobe of the human brain. Right in the front in the forehead is the frontal lobe. It's present right in the front. The main function of the frontal lobe is, if I give you an equation x, y, z, k, p, l, m, n, or if I give you a Hardy-Weinberg question, which most of the people will know, something which is confusing, something which requires great skills in problem solving, like 3 plus 2 into 5 plus 14 is equal to 7 minus divided by 4. Something like this which is really confusing is the function of the frontal lobe. Intellectual activities controls judgment, behavior, muscle movements, problem solving. All of these are part of the frontal lobe of the human brain. If I quickly ask you that move your right leg towards the left side, right? So I'm giving you a work that involves some amount of problem solving, and if you can do that, that means your frontal lobe is working absolutely fine. Moving to the second and the most important right here is the parietal lobe of the human brain. If I ask you to test your senses of the parietal lobe, I might ask you to pinch yourself with a needle or pinch yourself really hard. When you feel any pain, any discomfort, right? Whenever we get cut, we have an injury, we see something, we need to memorize all the beautiful things that we see in the world around us. Pain, pressure, touch, and the visual functions. A part of it is the function of the parietal lobe. Moving to the lobe, which is right on top of the ear. When we see something, we build a memory with it. I go to the mithai wala and I know that there are really cool gulab jamuns that he sells. So when I see something and I form a memory with that, I listen to something and I memorize it. For example, खड़क सिंह के खड़कने से खड़कती हैं खिड़कियां, खिड़कियों के खड़कने से खड़कता है खड़क सिंह. How many times can you say something as difficult and confusing confusing is this is something which is a function of your temporal lobe, which is right on top of your ear. She cells, C cells, and the C cells. So how much will you remember and how much will you be able to speak is a function of your temporal lobe. Moving to the lobe, which is right at the back of the brain, which is called the occipital lobe. Are you able to memorize colors? Are you able to see figures? If I show you a photograph right here in this beautiful moving thing, how many words are you able to identify in this amazing mosaic of words which is given here? Is all a function of your temporal lobe, which helps in recognition of color, recognition of words, and recognition of movements, because the optic nerve from your eye goes right to the back of your brain in the occipital lobe. But nahi, little more stories remaining. Right at the base here is also another organ which is called the brainstem, which is further made up of two halves, which is called the cerebellum. It is a very important part of the human brain, because if you're ever in a situation where your life is in danger, you can pick a brick or a hockey stick and hit someone right in the cerebellum, and I promise you that that person will fall down. This is the area for balance, this is the area for movement, this is the area for coordination, for maintaining the posture of the balance. So all those people who do ballets, those dance, people who do gymnastics, you're running, you're standing, all these balance activities are controlled by nothing other than the cerebellum, which is at the base of the brain. Therefore, alcohol also affects the cerebellum, and therefore, people who drink alcohol are usually going to get the cerebellum affected and going to go all tipsy and turvy. Also, we have another beautiful portion of the human brain, which is called the, not the heart. Heart is often confused with emotions of love, of anxiety, of fear, of, sometimes when you get hurt, you cry, pain, sadness, or extreme happiness. So all these beautiful emotions are related to the emotional headquarter of the brain, which is called the amygdala, which are these portions which are present on the inside. Does brain also have a role to play in the sleep-wake cycle? Does the brain control your emotions, your rage? All of this will come in phase 2 of the brain, which is going to be the next session, where I'm going to go to the deep dive into the brain and tell you something super duper amazing. I hope the top level of the brain is very clear to you. Stay tuned to the next episode of Let's Learn Android. That's all from my beautiful channel today. I will see you in the next week. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our super amazing channel. Ta-da!